Hey gang, Denise here, and this is Pose of the Week. Our pose today is Pigeon Pose. But as some of you may know, I never teach a passive pigeon pose. I always teach a frisky pigeon pose, and I'm going to explain why as I go into the pose. So I'll just go right into it. I'm going to bring my foot forward. So just a few things about the setup here. You know, we are generally externally rotating at the hip, and of course that's a lot of hip flexion too. So we're working toward bringing the knee to the outside, but you have to work with what you have available, okay? So let's respect that. But I'm gonna bring my knee out to the side, and let's always work on the hip, not the knee. We do not want to rotate the knee ever, 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 ever. Like, we don't want to increase rotation. Just work with whatever you've got and bolster for the rest. So I'm gonna rotate that out, and then bringing my foot toward the upper corner of the mat, that is where it's going to involve quite a lot of knee rotation. So again, I'm only going to work with what I've got. I'm not going to keep trying to crank that foot forward and get more knee rotation. I don't want to unstabilize my knee. Okay, so that. Now, if what happens there is that I'm either way over here because I can't get that hip down, if that's what happens, then getting a block under the sitting bone over here will be better. You can see how that requires less hip flexion, and so that might be more sustainable posture for some people. So that, and then with this back leg, I want to dial this leg inward, okay? So I'm going to spin it inward. I don't want to be sitting over here with this hip open. I want to spin it inward. All right, and I like to keep my toes tucked on this foot, keep this leg super energized, and then I'm energizing through this leg too. So I energize as though I have this plan to lift away from the mat. See, I'm using my muscles to lift me away from the mat. And I want to have enough strength to be able to do that. So that's why I call it a frisky pigeon. I'm not passive in this pose. I'm going to stay really active. And so sometimes, especially if people are bolstered, they might need actually a little assistance from their hands. So they're staying super active, but they're going to use blocks under their hands so they can stay in this upright position. Now, another thing that people may experience here is a bit of compression at the spine if it's about not having quite enough strength in the front here to pull your pubic bone up. That's actually what your rectus abdominis does anyways. It should be able to pull that pubic bone up toward your ribs. And if it's not really strong enough to do that, you are going to spill forward, and then that probably will give you some compression here. So a good way to deal with that, stay super active and just lean your body forward a little bit. But I would say the other thing is to work on strengthening. The pulling the pubic bone up might be a good way to think about it, so you actually get the kind of strength you need. All right, so active, active, active through the legs. Body is upright. It's a frisky pigeon. And really, I'm doing this because so many of us have underactive deep hip rotators. Even though one of them feels tight, most of them are not doing the job they need to do. And that posture is one of them where you can get all of them strong again. So much better than going into a super deep stretch with that one, because we really want those muscles around our hips to be strong. That's what we really need. Okay, so try that out. I hope that helps you, Derek. And thanks so much for joining me today. Bye for now.